I ran across a couple articles the other day, and I saw that Forbes and CBS reported that 63% of Americans cannot cover a $500 emergency expense. And that number was mind-blowing to me because that doesn't mean we don't have $500. It just means that we spend it on the wrong things. Hey YouTube, I'm Andrew.
And I'm Rose.
And welcome to another episode of Growing Wealth with A&R. Rose and I would like to thank you guys for your support, and we finally now have 100 subscribers and counting, and we are going to keep giving you guys the content you want.
Right.
So just keep giving us the feedback because that helps us put out videos. Before we get into today's video, Rose and I promised a $50 Amazon gift card to one lucky subscriber.
Yes,
so the way we're going to do this is I'm going to take my phone, we're going to have a random generator, and whichever number that comes up is the number subscriber you were. That's just so that it's not in order of whoever subscribed first or last. On the clock, I'm going to put it in. Numbers 1 through 100, generate. Number 64. Whoever number 64 is.
Congrats.
You won $50 on Amazon. So today's video is going to be about savings.
Right.
And this is a topic that many may find boring, but to buy nice things, you need a savings account.
Absolutely.
I think this will be one of Rose's favorite episodes because she loves to talk about savings and she knows a lot about different savings accounts. And I've learned so much from her, and I'm excited to relay that information to you guys. I ran across a couple articles the other day, and I saw that Forbes and CBS reported that 63% of Americans cannot cover a $500 emergency expense. And that number was mind-blowing to me because that doesn't mean we don't have $500. It just means that we spend it on the wrong things. So today we're going to get into that.
Let's get started on what is a savings account. So a savings account is an interest-bearing account that is pretty much held separate from your easy-to-access checking account. It can pretty much serve as an emergency fund or anything that entails long-term planning. So if you're saving to buy a house, if you're saving to buy a car, if you're saving to go to school, that's where a savings account becomes extremely beneficial. Keeping your funds in one easy to access account, when there's more in your checking account, you end up spending more than you plan to that month, that week, or that pay period. So having a separate account is super beneficial, and it gives you discipline to not make you want to dip into your account way more than you plan to. So you're probably wondering, what kind of savings account should I go out and look for? What kind of savings account is beneficial for me? Well, you have plenty of options out there, but it's just about doing your research and choosing what's best for you. You can get an interest-bearing savings account, which means that you have an account that gains interest, which is compounded monthly or yearly. So whatever you put into that account, at the end of the month or the beginning of next month, you gain a percentage on your account. You have more than what you put in. So obviously the more you put in, the more interest you gain. But you, like I said, you just have to do your research. So there are some accounts out there that require a minimum in that specific account in order for you to get the highest interest.
Or they'll charge you too.
Or they'll charge you. So for certain accounts, you can only withdraw a certain amount of money within that month in order to not get charged a penalty or a fee, or they might say that they want to close your account.
Yeah, and if they're trying to close your account and charge you fees, you're basically defeating the purpose of having a
savings account.
Also too, I wanted to mention, for if that's ever happened to you guys, Rose and I aren't laughing because it's funny. So I never told you this, but I remember like 6 years ago, I had a savings account with Chase, and I just kept taking money out, So like 6 months in, I got a letter, and they were like, okay, we're gonna close your account because you're taking.
What you doing? Like,
so
it's a checking account or a savings account. So
just wanted to make this one to, you know, I've been there. Just wanted to
right, guys. But I recommend you choose an outside account that's different from your checking account already. So it's good to get a different banking institute because it's harder for you to go and get the money out of your account. For instance, if you have a checking account with Chase, go get a savings account with Bank of America, or Capital One, Wells Fargo. I always like to challenge my friends or my peers on what interest rate they are currently gaining on their specific account.
So I have another funny story because one day Rose asked me, hey, what savings account do you use? And I said, X savings account. And she said, okay, what's the interest on that? I'm like, well, I'm actually paying them money to have it. She was like, no. So that day, I think I closed the account and I went over to another bank. I put the money in so that it's not easy for me to access.
Like I said, do your research, because when you are choosing that specific bank that you want to put your money in, that's your time to interview them and see what they can do for you. Now, which brings me to the next part, a CD or a certificate of deposit. So that is an account where you put your money in for a specific time period. It gains interest, a locked-in interest amount, and you are not able to touch those funds until the maturity date. So, say if you decide to put your money in for 1 year, 6 months, 9 months, you do not have access to those funds until your maturity date. If you decide you want to pull those funds, they will absolutely charge you a penalty.
Once again, defeating the purpose of your savings account.
Absolutely.
So you're able to choose your maturity date, correct?
Absolutely. So you go based off of whichever interest rate works best for you. But you are trying to gain interest on your money without having to touch it. You just want to store it away, and whenever it's ready, you have more money than what you put in. Make sure you do your research between the two. You want to choose a certificate of deposit account, CD, if you want to store your money away, lock it up, gain the interest, and not have the urge to want to pull it out. Remember, you can pull out the money out your CD before its maturity date, but they will charge you. So keep that in mind. Whereas if you have your interest-bearing savings account, it is liquid, you can access it. However, you have a certain amount of withdrawals within the month.
And liquid, by that you mean?
Liquid, easy to access, cash. You can get cash whenever you want.
Whenever I ask Rose a question, I just like to have us break it down to the simplest level so that I'm thinking of questions you guys might have.
Right, absolutely. And if you guys have any questions about what we're saying, please comment and just ask the questions so that we can break it down. Sometimes we don't realize that what we're saying is a little bit more complex than explaining. So let us know.
And the point of this channel is to break it down to the simplest form.
So I hope you guys got as much info as you can about a certificate of deposit account and an interest-bearing account. But last but not least, we have one more really good savings account that Andrew's going to explain to you guys as well.
So this one is one you guys have all heard of. It's called a 401k. This is a savings account. However, you are most likely to touch it when you are at the age of 60 or older, or 65. You know me, guys, I'm not somebody who likes to just spit out whatever I think. I like to research articles and have them presented for you guys, because Rose and I are not financial advisors. We just relay information, which is our goal.
Absolutely.
So right here, according to Fidelity.com, Fidelity is a 401k providing site. A 401k is a type of retirement plan offered through your workplace. If your employer offers a 401k plan, it makes a lot of sense to participate, and here's a few reasons why. So for the sake of this video, I'm going to keep 401ks very simple, because it will be its own video in the future.
Right.
A 401k is a interest gaining retirement plan that will allow you to retire comfortably. Rose and I are in our mid-20s. The last thing most 20-year-olds are thinking about is what they're going to be doing when they're 60. And that is the absolute worst thing that can happen.
Right.
And I would hate for us or somebody to be in that age group, that 70, 75-year-old age group with disabilities, and you still have to work. So what your 401k will do is help you save that money. It comes out of your paycheck. How to get into a 401k. The first thing I want you guys to do when you get to work the next time, if you are lucky enough to be employed, is to go to your employer and say, hey, do we have a 401k program here? The reason I want you to do that first is because this is one of those things, those rare things that you just sign up for and you leave it alone, you do not think about it.
Right.
This is one of those rare things. I get it, it's weird. and it's killing me to not go more into detail about 401ks, but this is one of those things where you sign up and you have your money go and save into a different account so that in the future you will have money to retire off of.
Absolutely.
Another advantage of having a 401k is that 401ks are matched by your employer. What does a match mean? If you contribute 4% of your paycheck to your 401k, your job will match that same 4%. So they're essentially giving you free money.
Right.
My dad says there's no free money in the world. This is technically true because you do have to pay fees for 401k, but what ends up happening is that they end up matching you, so those fees end up being canceled out and your net profit is positive.
Right.
Sorry about those words I just threw at you about net profit and all that stuff. If you guys have any questions, hit those down below because that's what we want to do for you guys.
Right.
So I really want to get more into 401ks, but I'm going to save that for the next video and keep you guys waiting.
That's coming.
But go to your employer and ask about 401ks. Don't forget to do your research on certificate of deposits as well as interest-bearing savings accounts. Variable interest-bearing savings accounts.
Just notice as well too, guys, with everything that we've been saying since we started the video, interest.
Yeah.
That's like the key word of this entire video.
So what is interest?
Interest is something that you're gaining. It's more of what you put in, something on top of the money that you already put into your account. It's more money. I know this topic can be a little bit boring. I know no one wants to hear about ways they can save, but look, you can make a hobby out of saving. It can actually be pretty fun depending on what you do and how you do it. I don't know if you guys ever heard of like the jar method or the envelope method. Like you can put money into an envelope, seal it up, put it away. A piggy bank. I found a hobby that I really enjoy. I collect gold coins, silver dollar coins, and I collect $2 bills. So I buy these jars and I fill them up as much as I can, and I plan to collect as many gold dollar coins, silver dollar coins, half dollars, and $2 bills until these jars are all filled up. And I'm not going to touch them. I'm not going to deposit them into my account. I'm going to keep them as long as I can so that I can hopefully in the future have kids and I can show them how I've saved. Make saving a fun hobby. Don't look at it as like a boring thing. Make it fun. Yeah. You might like it.
Thank you for watching another episode of
Growing Wealth with A&R. And also congratulations to that number 64. Congrats. I can't wait to see who you are. But congrats, guys. Thank you for watching. If you have any comments, anything you like button, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, and we will be here next week.
Definitely.
Have a good one, guys.